You are listening to Radio Koraput. The world of cinema has lost a veteran actor, Manoj Kumar, who is very often regarded as Mr. Bharat for his love for the patriotic films. Whenever we think of Manoj Kumar, lots of films which are dedicated for the nation and also patriotism, it comes into the mind. So today, on his demise, the entire world of the film lovers is been there in a sad moment. On this moment, we would like to highlight his achievements and his life and his contribution to the world of cinema. And to discuss on this, we have with us on phone line Dr. Sourav Gupta from the Department of Journalism and Mass Communication in Central University of Odisha, and who is also a very renowned person in the field of theatre and the founder of Nandanik, which is a pioneering theatre platform in Koraput district. We welcome you, sir, to this Radio Koraput's platform to discuss
Thank
on to know about the rich contribution of Manoj Kumarji to the world of film and also the thought processes in each one of us. So,
Thank you very much, Santakar sir, and to all the audience of Radio Koraput. I start with a very poignant tribute to the late uh, Sri Manoj Kumar ji, a stalwart in Indian cinema, a recipient of the Dada Saheb Phalke Award, and it is really a very sad day for Indian cinema and for India overall because our country has lost a great son, someone who was just not a mere actor or director, but someone who loved his own country, was passionate about upholding the valor and prestige of the country through the medium of cinema. Manoj Kumar's contribution has not been evaluated properly till date. He has a very deep contribution which needs proper evaluation and appreciation. It is true that he has received the Phalke Award, but still we have to think a little more deeply about his contribution. When Manoj Kumar started his career in cinema, he was trying to get a foothold in this industry, a highly competitive industry. And it took a little bit of time for him to get his first hit film. But he started very early in the 1950s, late 1950s. And there was a profound impact of Dilip Kumar on his acting style, which is very much understandable because Dilip Kumar ji had introduced a very, very modernist way of acting in Indian cinema. Prior to Dilip Kumar, Indian cinema was suffering from the disease of melodrama. But Dilip Kumar brought a sense of normal and acting which is sensible, acting with the brain. And Manoj Kumar is one of the great actors who actually continued that legacy and he developed his own style. He is very much known for his patriotic films, but When he started his career in the film industry, he started with romantic films. His first hit film was Haryali and Rasta, which was a triangular love story, and he proved his acting mettle. There were a number of stars during that time, but among them, especially early 1960s, late 1950s, is the time when the three great actors were ruling Bollywood: Raj Kapoor, Devanand, and Dilip Kumar. So to come out of the shadow of these three and make a mark for himself was not easy. But Manoj Kumar, he was a thinking individual who was always trying to think that how I can make myself distinct, how I can make myself marked, and he developed his own unique style. The famous position of using hands in front of the face, hiding his face with his hands, that instantly won the hearts of many millions of people across the country. And it became a very popular gesture which was identifiable and synonymous with Manoj Kumar. So instantly he made a mannerism. Mannerism, we often criticize people for developing certain mannerism. But Manoj Kumar used his mannerism in such a beautiful way that it was liked by the masses. And he followed up with some more regular commercial stuff. He was acting in a very another very popular film, Walk on Thee. In those days, in the 60s, if we see that Bollywood trend, there was a very deep impact of Hollywood commercial movies on the Bollywood filmmakers. And especially, by that time, James Bond had arrived in Hollywood, and crime thrillers, suspense thrillers were doing very well in Hollywood. So Bollywood was trying to actually ape them, and there were a series of these kind of films in Hindi also. So one of the major in this category will be Walk on Thee, which happens to be one of Manoj Kumar's popular hits. So he got his position got cemented in the film industry. But what do the average run of the mill, most of the people, they do? They do not experiment. They consolidate. They repeat formula. Film industry, especially Bollywood, is known for repeating formulas, success formulas. But Manoj Kumar, he was not a person who would rest on his laurels. He could have made many more romantic films and suspense thrillers, but he was all the time he was thinking that how I can be different. And the socio-political situation of the world that time, especially in context to India, if we see that in between 1960s to 1970s, that decade, India faced three wars. The first one with China in 1962, the second one with Pakistan in 1965, and the third one with again with Pakistan over Bangladesh issue in 1971. So when these wars were going on, as we know that cinema is not an isolated phenomena. It is very much a reflection of the society. And Manoj Kumar was someone who always believed that I would use cinema as a medium to bring about a social change, to give a message to the society. And he was a true patriot, and he wanted to uphold the strength of his country to his countrymen during a period which was extremely turbulent for India. and he came in close association with Lal Bahadur Shastri, who the late Prime Minister of India, and he inspired him a lot. So these series of patriotic films, which became his hallmark, he started with Shahid in 1964, and also he Lal Bahadur Shastri's inspiration, he made Upkar. The Upkar film was based on the theme of Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan, and he followed up with many more such films. After Upkar, we had Purab or Paschim, which is again a very important film in the filmography of Indian cinema, because that was the film which actually where Manoj Kumar tried to give a message not only to the countrymen but also to the outside, that India has very rich traditions and is no way inferior to the West, but is actually a country which is far more uh, richer than the West. And we should not ape Western culture, rather, we should follow our own Indian culture. So, Purab Paschim gave a very strong statement. And in all these films, Manoj Kumar's name was Bharat, the name of our great country. And he symbolized the spirit of a free India, a nation which desired to go to the top, a nation which was constantly being challenged, but it was not ready to bow down. And all these films were eventually liked by the people. These films were very, very popular and super hit films, largely due to the making and the quality of Manoj Kumar's thoughts on cinema. He directed these films himself. He was the editor of these films himself, and which shows that technically also he was a very, very sound person. He was not only an actor, but he was a film technician also. He created his own unit. There were some very good actors whom he promoted, like I can mention Pran as one of them, who played a wonderful character of a lame soldier in Upkar. And also another person I would like to name here is Mahendra Kapoor, who became Manoj Kumar's voice. In those days, in film industry, there was a trend that a singer became the voice of a particular actor. Like Mukesh was the voice of Raj Kapoor, Mohammed Rafi was the voice of Shami Kapoor, Kishore Kumar was the voice of Rajesh Khanna. Similarly, Mahendra Kapoor became the voice of Manoj Kumar, and he sang memorable patriotic songs still today, which are played during various functions. And whenever we listen to Meri Desh Ki Dharti, and we feel so inspired. So what I'm trying to say is that Manoj Kumar was not only trying to flame the nationalism. It's not like a very easy route to success. It's not like that. If you see the films, the quality of the films which he made, the amount of money which he invested, the wonderful screenplays that he wrote, and the way he used the camera. Here, I would just like to mention a little bit about the technical aspects of his films also. The use of camera, especially in outdoor shooting, because Manoj Kumar's films would show the villages of India at length. In the 1960s and 70s is also the time when the art film movement in India was gaining strength. So it would not be wrong to conclude that Manoj Kumar was closely observing those parallel cinema art films, and he was taking a cue from them. So the villages of India were shown with very, very technical precision using great camera work in Manoj Kumar's film. Yeah, I mean, the way he filmed the song Meri Desh Ki Dharti. Also, say in the later part of his career when he made Kranti. Kranti was a film which followed the Noir cinema. Noir cinema is a particular category of film which is known as the stylized cinema. The stylized cinema where there was a lot of lavishness and action scenes would be very, very well articulated and properly designed. I Today I was going through the Facebook post, Twitter post of Mr. Ajay Devgan, who has who wrote that Manoj ji is the first person who gave my father Viru Devgan a break in the film industry as the action director. So Manoj Kumar, in that way, was also making plans that how to design an action scene. And in Kranti, there are many such scenes which cannot be replicated. It was wonderfully done. So, another film which I would like to mention regarding Manoj Kumar is the film Shore. It stands out because it is very, very different from whatever films Manoj Kumar had made. And in one of the interviews, he had said that it is a personal narrative, something very close to my heart, and it was a personal feeling which I put into the film. The film is so ahead of its times. The film Shore is based on sound pollution. Sound pollution is an issue regarding which we rarely talk. Many people in India are becoming deaf or their listening power is getting reduced due to sound pollution. This is a silent disease which is happening and it was identified by Manoj Kumar as early in the 70s. And in the film Shore, he made some very good experiments. He used the montage technique, which was a signature of the Soviet cinema. Russian cinema under Sergei Eisenstein, the legendary filmmaker who had invented the montage theory. And the technique of montage was used by Manoj Kumar in his film Shore. When Manoj Kumar made those experiments, these were all unheard of, and one could never imagine those things being done in a. I am giving you one examples, uh, like for example, in the film Shore, it has a funeral procession with the chant Ram Nam Satya Hai, cutting across a wedding band, blurring filmy songs. The decked up groom on a horse lifting the veil and looking at the dead body. This kind of juxtaposition of shots went on to become part of the general aesthetics of Manoj Kumar's film, suitable for the rhetoric of patriotism, which he beautifully depicted in films like Upkar, Purab, and Pashtin. I can only say that today is a sad day because we have lost a thinking cinema artist and technician, a person who was wearing several hats. He was an actor par excellence. See, we have to, if you go through the filmography of Manoj Kumar, we give a lot of credit to other heroes like of his time. But if you go through the popularity record, it was unprecedented. Almost 95%, 96% of his films were hits. Very few films, I mean, 3 to 4% flopped. And he was not responsible for that. The films which he made, which he directed, which he edited, which he conceived, and where he acted as the lead character were all super hits. So he had a great track record, and you have to understand that he was competing with superstars like Rajesh Khanna, like Rajendra Kumar, and the three greats. So, and another thing is the patriotism, the kind of patriotism which he infused in cinema. After him, I think we don't have a second. example, any particular actor or a director who has actually given us that patriotic zeal in Bollywood commercial cinema. So that way, it is a huge loss for the film industry.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your detailed discussion on the great contribution of Manoj Kumar to not only to the film world but also to the humanity and also to India. Uh, we are true when we are saying that after Manoj Kumar I think there is rarely any mission to infuse that patriotism through films
Yes,
in Indian films. So we hope that there are some films are there which are more of protecting the boundaries and all that and going
yes,
on the attack and all that. But that doesn't infuse any patriotism because each song that was
yes,
sung by through Manoj Kumar ji was generating a sense of patriotism in each and every
yes,
listener. So
mm,
that particular thing we are missing now because we are having stars, but we are
yes,
not having actors.
absolutely.
We hope that the theater platforms like Nandanik coming with the children and youth, someday we'll have some actor like Manoj Kumarji who will be bringing the change.
Yes,
Thank you, sir, again. Thank you for giving your time to Radio Koraput. And to the listeners of Radio Koraput, we are also grateful to them that they have spent such a lot of time in listening to our conversation. Thank you again. Let us see another episode. Till then, for Radio Koraput, here is C.S. Shantakar. Namaskar.